Okay. The channel is live. Hello, everyone, and welcome to Adventure on So Many Levels. We're going to play Sexy Battle Wizards.
Woohoo!
Cha!
I am Christiana Ellis. I am the game master for this session. I want to first apologize that we didn't have a session last week. We were planning to, but technical difficulties thwarted our aims, and we would have continued it this week. But scheduling continues to, you know, scheduling. But though we are down Starla tonight, that gave us the opportunity to do a very special one shot of a game called Sexy Battle Wizards. And the players for tonight include Jenny Meltzer,
That's me.
Paul
But
Fisher.
also, I'm gonna be Lady Erilyn McCant.
Oh, how do you spell that? I'll go ahead and put it on your little name tag.
AERILYN.
A-E,
Yep,
okay.
AE.
Erilyn
Yep,
McCanth, is that what you said?
yep.
How about
Sort
that?
of like it sounds, but with an E on the end.
All right. I guessed the E, actually.
Nice.
All right. So, Paul, Mark, do you both have your character names already?
I do.
Okay.
Nope.
Well,
I'm
I'll
playing Mark Fable.
Mark Fable. Nice. How about you, Mark? You want to be Paul something?
I want to be Paul Jenny. No. The first thing that came to mind, also an AM, and it's completely nonsensical, which is why I chose it. The Alistair method. If you're for a bullet journal, you'll know what that means.
Alistair
Alistair
Method.
method. Yeah.
Nice.
I'm also called the Method Man.
Do you know the Method Man? All right. Well, so the game Sexy Battle Wizards is a one-page RPG written by Grant Howitt. You can find him and all his games at patreon.com/GSHowitt with two T's, so HOWITT. They've made lots of great games, and we're going to play one. This one, you are a sexy battle wizard. You are a member of the College Errant, an organization based in a magical flying castle that rove the land looking to avert arcane disasters and fight injustice. You have precisely zero authority to do this. The cops hate you, and you are wanted in several countries for collateral damage caused whilst saving the world. You have three stats: sexy, battle, and wizard. So we thought it would be fun to take a peek back into Pashan. And we know in our Pocket Protectors campaign, there's already an existing known flying castle, Sunya di Unturbelu, and it is the home of Lord Relenth and your various other friendly NPCs that have stayed back there while the Pocket Protectors, go into Dinuther. But we thought, what if there was a rival team of adventurers that also had a flying castle, and they hate each other? But is this enemies, or perhaps enemies to something else? But so that is what we're going to be playing tonight. So let's go ahead and have you build your characters. There are several tables that need to be selected from. The questions are: why are you so sexy? What is your signature weapon? And what's your magical school? And so I would like each of you to, let's do the questions in order. And each of you, I'd like you to either just choose from the table, or you may roll a die to see.
I'm going to roll.
All right.
So, number 1, we roll a d6. And I got a 5.
That means you are so sexy because you are ethereal, graceful, and elegant.
I too rolled a 5, but I feel like everything has to be unique here. So
Oh, sure.
let's
Feel
try it.
free to re-roll.
Well, that's too typical. I rolled a 2.
Okay. Majestic
have-
hair / beard / mustache. I could let you say it, I suppose. Okay.
I rolled a 3.
Impeccable, pristine style. Very nice. Okay. And so the next thing that you need to do is there are 2 tables of 10. So you need to roll 2d10, but then you are combining the results for your weapon. So whatever the first d10 rolls and whatever the second d10 rolls, you combine those. So let's find out what your signature weapons are.
All right. So, I got a 4 and a 3, which means I have a celestial whip.
Nice.
Ooh, kinky.
All right.
I rolled a 6 and a 6.
Okay.
So I have a Fey cannon.
Nice.
Does it fire Faye?
Well,
It shoots
wow.
Faye.
Maybe.
I just shoot Fey up.
I guess we'll have
It
to find
shoots
out.
Faye out, yes.
All right.
I got a 5 and a 1. So I have a. Is it a 5 and a 1?
You
Yeah,
could switch
5 and a
them up.
1.
All right.
So I have a Ghost Wolf hammer.
Ooh.
I don't have any idea what that is. A Ghost Wolf
So
hammer.
you may re-roll if you like, but I kind of like the idea of finding out what a Ghost Wolf hammer is.
Hmm.
I really was hoping that my 1/6 was a 9 because it would have been funny to have a Fey fist, but I'll
Well,
take
you
the
know,
cannon.
I'm not going to hold you like the dice are not sacred in this game.
I know, but it's just funny.
The last thing to choose is your magical school, and this is another D6 table.
Right. I need to roll a d6, and
I rolled a
got
4.
a 6.
All right. Do you want
Way
me?
of 10,000 mirrors.
Uh-huh.
The Arcana of the Supreme Doorway.
Ooh.
I got the Secrets of Occult Shadowmancy.
Very
and my
nice.
Ghost Wolf.
So, the way this game works is when you do stuff that is intended to grant you an advantage or solve a difficult problem, you will roll the number of d6 that is equivalent to your most relevant stat. So now we have to pick stats. You have sexy, battle, and wizard. You have a 1, a 2, and a 3, and you shall place them where you like.
That's really hard.
Well,
Mm.
do you, with sexy, you will charm cuties with your slick style and rockin' bod. When you battle, you will harm your foes with your mighty martial prowess. Or with your wizard, you will weave the eldritch arts of magic. But obviously, for example, with your magic, the magic is, if you're needing to hurt somebody, that's battle, not wizard. But if you're wanting to, to seduce someone, that's going to be your sexy. But if you want to, create a magical bridge to let you cross between rooftops or something, that might be wizard. So when you have assigned your stats, when you are doing a roll, you will roll the number of d6s to match your stat. And you might have some determination, which we'll talk about in a moment. And if you do, you can spend it to gain an extra die, or you could spend 2 to get 2 extra die, etc. And what you're looking for is the highest result of all the dice you roll. And I'm going to set the difficulty for various challenges. A 4 would be a standard difficulty. Standard sexy battle wizard stuff with standard results. A 5 would be audacious or risky stuff that has a great impact. 6, clutch against the odds stuff that can really turn the tide of a situation. If your highest die beats the difficulty, you succeed and describe what happens. If it's equal, you succeed, but you also mark 1 stress. And I will describe something bad that also happens. And if you fail, then you gain 1 stress and 1 determination, which you can use to give yourself more dice on future rolls. So, stress can represent anything you want it to. If you get a failure, if your total final stress is higher than the highest dice you rolled, you explode in a burst of magic and reform in the Chapel of Ages inside the College Aeron after a little while. And then your determination and stress reset to 0. So, does that make sense? Basically, like if, for example, you had 1 stress and then you failed and gained 1 more, so you had 2, but one of the dice you rolled was a 1, that would you would magically explode. So, has everyone chosen your stats?
Yes.
All right.
Yes.
So, I'm going to do some rolling to find out what's going wrong, what's this place like, and who's going to stand in our way. And I think we're setting this in Pashan, but Pashan's a big city. It can have different neighborhoods that are all different kinds of ways. So, let's see. I am going to roll. So first, what's going wrong? I roll twice. 1 disaster hides another much more dangerous disaster. I'm only going to tell you what the first one is. But I'm rolling for the other one right now so that I will know. So, animated terracotta army in the burial chambers is what you know to be an ongoing problem that you're coming into to handle. What's this place like? Stuffy, prim and proper, vaguely steampunk. Vaguely steampunk burial chambers.
Mm-hmm.
Interesting. And then who's going to stand in your way? The Monarch of Summer, a sexy Fey Royal, and the sexy Chief of Wizard Police.
All right.
Okay, so I think that we should begin with a little introductory vignette where I would like, so first we are going to see standing at, we have the city of Pashan, the skyline of it. We've seen a little cold open of these steampunk burial chambers guarded by all of these various terracotta soldiers that have gears on them for some reason. Why gears on them? I think a lot of visitors to these burial chambers say, I get the guardian statues, that seems like a thing, but why the gears? And those questions are perhaps partially answered, raising others, when these statues begin to move and clank about and fight people. And suddenly no one could get into the burial chambers because these terracotta soldiers have established a perimeter and are patrolling these these burial chambers as though they were hiding a precious secret within. And then we pan up to the skyline of Pashan and see, silhouetted against the sky, a flying castle. What does this flying castle look like?
I think it's
Hmm.
pretty pink,
Yeah,
I was thinking the same thing.
nice.
like with gemstones. Like it looks like somebody bedazzled it.
Mm-hmm.
Pink and purple, kind of lavender, very shiny.
Nice. And I imagine that it has 3 towers. And it has 3 towers, each with their own sort of battlement rooftop, because each of you needs to be able to stand on the top of your own tower to, survey everything that is beneath you, which is, after all, everything. That's the point of a flying castle.
Mm-hmm.
And I would like each of you to give us what the camera sees as we zoom in on this pink and purple bedazzled flying castle as we move in and get a close-up of each of you. Describe your character's whole vibe.
Hmm.
Well, atop my tower, I'm wearing like Miss Piggy gown. Like it's the colors that Miss Piggy used to wear. Very lavender, and it matches perfectly with the castle. Also, I am decked out in jewels, and I have this amazing gray hair just flowing behind me. Um, and also I'm an elf. Just just an elf. That's it. I don't know. You can't tell what kind from far away as the camera pans in on me. Just an elf.
Do we get any hint of your signature weapon or your magical school?
Um, all I will say
If this was
is
the
that
opening credits of an anime, what clip of you would we see?
you would see me like running with my hair flowing behind me and my dress flowing behind me, and I pull out this tiny little thing that looks like it might be a miniature cannon, and it shoots pixies out of it across. Like it just shoots them. They go like really far, and they leave like rainbow sprinkles behind them as they go off
Tracer
toward the
pixies.
target. Yes.
Fantastic. All right. That is Lady Erilyn McCanth. Who's next?
Mark?
What do you see? What do you see? I think it is confusing. A swirling mass of gray, black, and silver clouds that dances around this diminutive dwarven figure. And then you realize that the clouds don't stop, as they are, in fact, the long edge of an extraordinary beard that never stops motion. It is a sight to behold. Glimpses around as it moves and forms shapes that reflect inner thoughts. You see him with this gray, silver tinged hair, the kind of, silver strain that kind of begins at the temple and gives that distinguished line. But the line doesn't go straight back; it kind of curves into this mystical shape that forms around his forehead, almost or formed around the back of his head, rather, like a tiara almost. And mixing with the ever-moving hair is smoke from a extraordinarily long pipe that's held at full arm's length. The bulb is held there with little wisps of smoke and a long tapered uh, 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 stem. And I think every once in a while he'll have to tap the ashes with this tiny little silver shaped hammer, with just this tiny little like hand wrought hammer, just sort of tapping the ashes, and they poof up and explode every once in a while. He looks taller than he is because he's standing upon what is well hidden in the shadows, an orange crate as well.
Fantastic. And who completes our sexy battle wizard trio?
Mark Fable stands on the top of his castle battlement on a long, pointed piece of wood, very reminiscent of the front of a ship, and he's got his head up and his small pointed beard, and his mustache flows behind him 6 feet on either side. He's dressed in kind of like the black and red leather jacket and pants that Michael Jackson wore in Thriller, except it's lavender and pink. And he has 2 large whips, one at each side. One is white and the other is black. And then there are 7 smaller whips across his chest in rainbow colors. Kind of like a swordsman would have daggers. He's got small close up and personal whips, and they are in the 7 colors of the rainbow.
That is fantastic. I love it. So, as the castle, does the castle have a name? I mean, the College Errant.
I think it should rhyme with. I think it should rhyme with Sunya,
Mm-hmm.
like Petunia.
Oh yeah, there you go.
Petunia.
Petunia
More than you.
Dian Torbello.
They're
Yeah.
actually estranged sisters. As Petunia soars over the city of Pashan, headed for the burial chambers where you've received a tip that there is trouble that needs your assistance. Who's actually responsible for flying the castle? Who is actually in control?
I mean, probably minions.
Oh, so you
Yeah.
have people who are doing that actual part of it?
We have
we have
people
people
to
for
do
that.
We
those
have
things.
people for that.
Yes,
Okay.
exactly.
So, who then is responsible for directing the minions in this particular instance?
I mean, I feel like the 3 of us would telepathically convene,
Mhm.
like they did in Lord of the Rings, and we would figure out what we wanted to do, and then we would just be like, minions, take the castle here, step on it.
Well, so I think the minions do their best, but they're inside the castle. They can't really see because they need to stay out of sight. Everyone, it is important to your image that when Petunia comes soaring in and the sexy battle wizards are on the scene, people should see the sexy battle wizards, not a bunch of nobodies. Right? So
It's true.
as you are coming in, there's not really an obvious place to land. But what are you going to do? You're going to land far away and walk? Surely not. So, what is the solution here that there isn't really a place, an obvious place big enough for Petunia near these burial chambers?
I would like to keep Petunia hovering in the air, and I will exercise my Arcana of the Supreme Doorways to open a gateway to the ground.
Okay. Is there a separate one for each of you and on each of your towers? Or are you only
Yes.
taking care of yourself here?
No, I will open one on each tower,
Okay. Well,
and that
so
when we walk through them, we will all come out the same door at the
okay, so
same
that
time.
sounds like a wizard move to me. So, what is your wizard stat?
2.
2. Okay, so roll 2d6s for me. And this is a difficulty of 4. You do this all the time.
I rolled a 4 and a 1.
Okay, well, when you tie, that means you succeed, but you are going to take 1 stress. So just mark that down. So I think that what happens is that what you see, or what you didn't see rather, when you initially chose the placement of the doors, is that you have successfully created for yourselves a spectacular entrance where you can just step right through the doorway and arrive right there at the front of these burial chambers, or at least the outskirts of the perimeter that's been set up. But you inadvertently find yourself standing face to face with a couple of the emperor's guards who had been trying to clear people away and try to at least get people to safety, and you end up sort of like just standing right in front of them. You step through your portals and they're just right there, and they jump and they're startled, and you realize that these two, I think these are both, you know, good looking in a standard way. There's a man and let's say as a male half elf and a female orc that are in guard uniforms, and they seem to be, relatively young but determined in their job. And all of a sudden, you're there, and they say, "Uh-oh, sexy battle wizards, you need to just clear out. We're going to handle this."
You're right. We will clear this out and handle it too. Thank you for the job. Stand aside. We have work to be done.
All right, that sounds like maybe you're trying to sexy them into just going along.
Sure.
So let's
That's
see, a
absolutely
sexy
sexy.
roll. And I think that
All right.
they're a little intimidated to start with, but maybe.
Well, I will strike a pose.
Well, there
It
you
does
go.
work.
So let's get a 4
That's a
difficulty.
2 and a 2.
Okay, so unfortunately, that is going. You take 1 stress, but you also get 1 determination. And I think that you find as you strike this pose, these 2 guards look at each other and just say, "The chief warned us about you. After the way you collapsed the roof of the library the last time, we've been told not to let you anywhere near any sign of trouble. And so we're trying to get these people to safety. If you want to help with that, but that's fine. But you need to just stay out of this. We don't even know what's happening. You're just going to make things worse."
But
Well,
we're friends of the Emperor.
yes. And we have a new name. We are the socket inspectors. And I see a socket over there where the problem is.
Oh dear.
So I think recall that what you need to be doing. You don't have a persuasion skill. You have sexy
Oh.
battle and wizard. So, please frame what you're doing in one of those terms.
I snap my head left and right and whip each of them with my 6-foot-long mustache ends using my celestial whips and the
Okay. So that sounds like it would be a
Skills.
battle. And
Yes.
you can be trying to just move them out of your way. You don't have to be trying to hurt them.
Well, I can do the bullets at the feet kind of whip
Sure.
and get out of our way.
Well, so I just mean if you wanted to sort of grab them and just move them aside, that would be one thing.
Oh, yes.
I thought that's what you were kind of going for. But
oh, that works.
all right. Well, I'm going to say, so you tell me, would you like this to be a standard move? You're just getting them out of the way, or would you like this to be a little bit more audacious and make a striking impression on anyone else that's seeing this? I'm
I'm
letting you
going to
choose
go-
between a 4 and a 5 difficulty.
I'm gonna go with the 5 difficulty
Okay.
because I'm a sexy battle wizard.
You sure are. So that's going to be a 5 difficulty, and make a battle roll for me. How many is that for you?
That was 2 dice,
Okay.
and I rolled a 1 and a 2.
Okay. Well, not going great so far for the sexy battle
No.
wizards. So it's 1 stress and 1 determination for you. And I think that just as you you lash out with your whip, they both quickly draw nightsticks that they clearly have drilled some kind of a motion that they use to counter your whips, and then you hear a magically amplified voice saying, "That's right. We've trained against your tactics since the last time, sexy battle wizards." And you see from a tiny little airship is flying in, and you see it is the chief of the wizard police. He is on the scene, and he says, "This isn't your jurisdiction, sexy battle wizards. In fact, you have no jurisdiction here. I think I'm gonna have to ask you to leave."
Well, I unroll my black whip and snap it.
Yeah.
Raise my head up in my best sexy form, and with my grace say, "Oh, and my brain just went blank." I had a line.
Yeah.
I did.
I actually like that as though what the character actually says.
It's,
I wrote it down.
Alright, well, yeah. So,
yep.
does someone else want to jump in with an assist here?
You're not the boss of us.
No, I'm the boss of the city's protection. Not, I'm the boss of any who would violate its code of conduct and rules of order.
Come and say that to my face.
So I think as this airship comes in, a little rope's going to drop from it, and he's going to do a very cool acrobatic move where he slides down the rope, like rappelling down almost, but managing to land in a pose right in front of you. And he's got a very like his uniform is very starched and shiny, but you can also tell that it's maybe just a little too tight around his perfect chest and his big arms, In fact, his arms look a little bigger even than the last time we met. He's been working out.
Good sir, I know that you only come here to see me, obviously. You just can't get enough. Now you know that we can do absolutely good work here, but you have to let us.
Is this a sexy move?
Yes.
All right, well, let's get I think he is already a little primed against you, but that's pretty. So I think this is maybe. You know what? I
I'm
think.
pretty sexy.
Yeah. Well, so let's say it's a 5 then.
Okay. I'm rolling 3 dice.
Okay.
I rolled a 6, a 2, and a 5.
All right. So that's a perfect success. So you describe what happens here. He's looking
I
you in
think
the
that-
eye.
I think that he's looking at me all like, I am so primed against you. I am not going to fall for this again. But then he remembers how beautiful I am and how much he likes to be around me.
Hmm.
He has a soft spot for me. And every single time he just gives in because he knows he can't resist.
Damn it, McKenth. I don't like the way you operate, but I sure like to watch you do it.
This is the best game ever. It's so ridiculous. I love it.
All right. We're going to let the sexy battle wizards have a try. Keep the civilians back. and so the other guards start, keeping all the civilians back. But so now you can get through this first line, and you see that guarding the outside of this chamber is a whole row of jerkily moving, clockwork animated terracotta statues that have like stone weapons and stuff, but still thinks it probably would not feel good to, have them, get stabbed with a stone sword. Plus, they're also moving around, so they might be just like special some other way. Who knows?
Well, I am going to get out my black and white celestial whips, and I am going to attack the first set of terracotta warriors.
All right.
With ears.
Okay, so I think this is probably standard. So this is difficulty 4, battle.
All right. I got a 5 and a 1.
All right, so that's a success. Tell me what happens.
I spin my arms around and start cracking my whips, sending shockwaves of supersonic air impacting against the rock of the terracotta warriors, shattering them, whipping my head side to side as the ends of my mustache grab pieces of them out of the air and hurl them at others of their kind until the initial set that are guarding the outside of the tomb are nothing but a pile of red cracked clay.
Very nice. The lady cop from before drops her nightstick and then hurries to pick it up.
I flick my mustache and wrap it around her and pull her close to me.
I feel like in bizarre anime fashion, there has to be like some kind of weird, like, thing that happens every time we do something awesome that's just all like so sexy.
Yeah, totally. So you pull her close. Let's get a sexy move. This is just difficulty 4. You've already impressed her.
Going in for the kiss, and I got a 6, a 5, and a 1.
Nice. So you can describe what happens.
I lean her over into a dip, kiss her deeply, and then drop her.
And I think
And
as
she just passes out.
yeah, hearts for eyes.
Oh yeah.
Excellent.
Damn,
Very
that
good.
was sexy. But there's no time for that. There's a whole army over there.
Oh, so you've certainly cleared this initial perimeter, and you know that you can hear more of them walking in clanking steps inside the building. But you have cleared the path.
You'll need more caution. Cannot love make to every single thing you find. I think some subterfuge is required. And I'll pull out my pipe, take a big, healthy pull, and blow smoke that we will hide in as a cloud of gorgeous, well-formed, beautifully swirled vapor.
That sounds like a wizard roll to me.
It is
Standard.
most definitely wizard. 4, 4, and a 6.
Okay, well, that means a success. Describe your smoky infiltration.
It arrives in swirls that gather around our feet, like a spa treatment almost. In fact, there's a little essence of some sort of primitive oil that lifts the senses. You feel enlightened while inside this cloud. And I walk boldly forward. Follow me, friends. This won't last forever. Like all good things, it only lasts as long as we need it. We stride forward. Left, right, twirl a little bit, spin, follow the flow of the smoke. And here we are now, somewhere in the middle. I couldn't see exactly where because there was smoke, but I got us here.
Nice. As you have made your way hidden within the smoke into the main sanctuary of this, it's a big sort of cathedral atop these catacombs where all the individual burial chambers are. But as you enter this main big sanctuary, you see that there are dozens and dozens of these statues, but they are marching around in strange formations that for a moment seem confusing until you realize that it's as though they are performing some kind of a ritual dance. But there are dozens and dozens of them, and you can see from a couple of passageways towards the back, there seem to be more coming up all the time.
Yes.
And they're dancing?
Well, yeah, so at first it's not obvious because their movements are kind of stiff, and it's not like they're paired off waltzing or something like that, but it does look like they're performing some sort of a ritual, almost like line dancing.
It's seems to
Quite
be
tacky.
a jump to the left,
Mm-hmm.
and then, if I'm seeing this correctly, a step to the right.
Mm-hmm.
Ah, but it is the pelvic thrust which really drives you insane.
That's
Yes.
right. You recognize this dance instantly.
Is
Ah,
the time
Fortunately,
warp?
I minored in this dance, as did we all.
So you recognize that this dance that they're doing is some kind of a magical ritual. If they're allowed to complete it, who knows what might happen?
We must interrupt their magical ritual.
It will be a time warp all over again.
Yes. We must not let them complete the ritual and do the time warp again.
It will be the time warp all over again.
Exactly.
It will be the time warp all over again. Oh dear.
Why does
think
it
it's
keep
better.
happening?
Mhm.
It's
Uh,
quite
the-
disconcerting.
The clump, clump, clump of their terracotta feet along the marble floors is definitely rhythmic and almost hypnotic.
And a one and a two and can we dance along and get closer to where they're dancing around?
Yeah, so I think you've infiltrated with as the smoke so that you can now observe this closely and they don't seem to have noticed or reacted to you at all. They're just doing their dance. So, what would you all like to do next?
Come, my friends. I say we show them a new dance to stop them in their tracks. The sexiest dance of all.
Yes.
But really, the sexiest dance? That could be dangerous.
The forbidden dance. The lambada.
No more dangerous than the time warp again
Again?
and again.
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 All right.
So who is
I think we
leading
should make
this
it.
this dance? Because that would be a sexy move, and I think this is audacious. This is risky because you're exposing yourself to all of these dozens and dozens of statues that might react to you hostilely once they recognize you're there.
I will lead this sexy dance.
Go for it.
All right.
Do it.
So remember, you can spend determination to add an extra die. I don't know that
Oh,
you
I
necessarily
think I'm
want to do that
definitely-
now, but that is something you can do.
I am going to do that.
All right.
And that will give me 4 dice. And I do.
Is this a difficulty of like 6?
No, this is just 5. It's risky because if it doesn't work, you're going to have these things all over you.
That would be 3 4s and a 3.
Oh dear. So that's unfortunately a failure. I think you find that while this dance you attempt surely would be sexy enough for any ordinary terracotta soldier, magically animated or otherwise. But there's something about those gears. Oh no! You realize these terracotta animated warriors have been cyberized in a way that makes them immune to your sexy movements. And as many of them continue their dance, several others crush in around you, and they are dogpiled you and crushed you to the floor.
Oh
So
no!
take 1 stress and 1 determination for your failure.
I have done that.
All right.
I would just like to call out as I see this happen. Inconceivable!
Did you see that, Erilyn? There's something unusual about these terracotta warriors. I saw it in the way they swayed and would not budge from the movements that were programmed to. I saw it there around the midriff. I believe it to be true. After all, the hips do not lie.
They do not. They do not indeed. We
But I
must
think-
find another way.
So I think
Ah.
that there's a cartoon smoke cloud of scuffling as they're beating on Mark Fable at the moment.
Let him free. We will bring the beat down. A 3 beat, I think, with the stress on the second, with a little bit of an alteration every 5th beat. Yes. I
Is
would
that
like to
Yeah.
conjure a massive drum to disrupt their clockworks.
Okay, so this would this be a wizard roll?
This is a wizard roll, yeah.
Okay, so you're basically trying to throw their rhythm off, is the idea?
Yeah,
All
so
right.
that Mark can escape.
Sure.
That's a weird thing for me to say.
Yeah. Well, just think how weird it would have been if you had all 3 just switched first names. That would be fun.
My middle name is Paul.
I feel
No,
like that's something that would, like, for some future one shot, that just seems like it would be a fun thing to do, to just everyone have the first names of their characters just swapped over one. Anyway, let's go ahead and just call that a difficulty 4 wizardry roll.
Right. Wizardry it is.
Wizard!
A 1, a 6, and a 4 all over the spectrum.
All right. Is
Ba
6.
boom, ba 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 boom.
Yes. And you see that the mechanized portions of these statues find your syncopated rhythms too difficult to process. They want to march to the beat, but their gearing is only programmed for their one rhythm. And they begin to jerk unsteadily, allowing Mark Fable to escape.
All right.
An admirable
friends.
attempt at the forbidden dance. You'll get it there, my friend. You'll get it. And when you do, the world will split in 2. Thanks. But for now, let's try something else.
Yes.
So,
Are they still like dancing in a line, like as they come away from Mark Fable? Are they like
yeah, so
getting
there
back
there
into
was
formation?
there was basically like maybe a dozen or so that were jumping all over him, but there's still many more that didn't ever stop dancing. And now, so I think some of the ones that had there are some that are turning towards all 3 of you, but many more are continuing to dance. It was rendered a little bit, jerky. All of them kind of reacted to the drums, but that was primarily a localized effect for the ones near Mark Fable. And as I mentioned, more are coming up from below all the time. Chomp, 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 chomp.
So, the scene element. Did you say they were dancing around something, or?
Well, they're kind of they're moving around. They're not like circling one particular thing. They're
Okay.
doing some kind of a ritual, though, you recognized. So it's more about all of them doing it together than it being a specific location, as far as you know.
And are there? This is burial chambers or?
So basically the burial chambers are where these statues were. Right now we're in kind of a cathedral that is above the catacombs where the burial chambers are. So you're in imagine a big open, like Gothic cathedral, uh, you know, chapel, sanctuary area. But you can see that there are passageways that go down into the catacombs below, and that's where these things are coming from.
I think they may be wound up from below and sent to their mission. Shall we investigate? Wizards?
Sexy. Let's go have a look.
On 3. 1, 2, and 3.
So
Stride, strut. Stride, strut.
So the passageways that they're coming up out of, there are some still coming. So how are you dealing with your? They're trying to come up the other way, and are you?
I shall open a door.
Oh. Well, how about a wizard roll then, from Lady Erilyn McCanth?
A 6 and a 3.
Very nice. Yes. So describe how you use your door.
It looks strange, like to the naked eye, because it's sideways, almost two-dimensional, and very thin. Just a strip of light that we can just slide into, and it takes us wherever we want to go.
Yeah.
I peeked down the stairs to see what it looks like down there.
Mm-hmm.
So basically, it's kind of like Dimension Door, but not. But for 3 people.
Sure.
It's even better. It's a 2-dimension door.
Yes,
But for 3 people.
but for 3.
Yes. A 2-dimension door for 3. Yes.
So I think as you appear down in this subterranean chamber, you see that there is a much bigger central area than you perhaps realized. But of course, there would have to be. This is where all of these terracotta warriors were assembled originally. But you can see that there is some sort of a construct the size of like a small carriage that is sort of in an automated way. It is passing over each of the normal non-animated terracotta statues, and then it kind of like moves over it and then settles down over the statue and goes and then when it opens up and moves to the next one, you see that the one that has just finished with now has the strange gears on it, and it starts to move. This contraption seems to be what is animating the statues.
What is this new devilry?
I don't know, but I bet it finds me sexy. And I'm going to attempt to redeem myself by sliding in front of it and doing my best sexy dance.
Okay, well, you discover as you get close enough that it does seem to have a little cockpit, and there is a gnome in there with a somewhat androgynous face and they look really old, like even old for like a gnome, but like completely bald and like no body hair at all that you can see, like clear in face, but just like really old, and they're clearly at the controls of this little thing. And so you are beginning your sexy dance.
Yes.
All right, well, let's see a sexy roll, please.
I am going to burn my determination.
Okay, this is just a difficulty 4.
Okay. But I got the snot kicked out of me last time. I need to redeem myself. Ah, a 5, a 4, a 3, and a 1.
Okay, well, that's a success. So what happens as you begin your sexy dance?
I rock my hips. I move my arms around, and I attempt to beguile the gnome driving this machine
Well, but no, you succeeded. So say what happens
Oh.
as a result.
Oh, as a result,
Yeah.
he is totally beguiled. He feels that he is young again and full of energy and must dance with me and learn this wonderful, sexy dance.
Mm-hmm. So I think the machine kind of grinds to a halt, and the little cockpit opens, and the gnome, wide-eyed, holds out a hand because like they're in this machine. They're like 8 feet off the ground, and they're a gnome. So they're doing the like help me down here, but from a romantic like you're asking me to dance mode.
I snap my right mustache up and wrap around him and pull him down to the floor, spinning so I can catch his hand, that he may learn the sexy dance and we will dance together.
Very nice. And so this has many of the terracotta warriors that were already animated are continuing to do their thing, but this gnome in the little contraption seems to be utterly smitten and is being carried away in the dance. But as this has happened, not only do the existing statues continue doing what they were doing, but um, uh, Alistair or Erlen, which of you notices a sneaky thing happening?
Whoa.
I mean,
I mean, maybe both of you are just so captivated with Mark's dance. So
That's probably what it is.
Okay.
as
He's so sexy,
fascinating
we
as that
probably
is,
would
so
not
no
notice.
one then notices that the now empty machine that was steampunkizing these terracotta warriors, the cockpit suddenly snaps closed on its own, and it is now tinted in a way that you cannot see inside. And it activates once again, and it is moving. It's now looking like it is going to descend to do its steampunkization on Mark Fable and the gnome instead of one of the terracotta warriors.
I look over at Alistair and I'm just like, stop that thing.
of course. I can feel it in my bones. This thing is evil. It's terrible. It's an abomination. It's moving quickly. Right, sorry.
It's going to hurt Mark Fable.
Not
We
again.
must
Not
stop
our
it.
delightful dancer. All right then. And I will lean back and then push forward and allow my beard to unfurl and try to cover the cockpit with the beard so it can't see where it is going.
Okay, well, sounds perhaps like a wizard roll?
I'm a terrible fighter, so it's a mostly wizard thing.
All right. 4?
It's a
I
three,
want you
three,
to
and
do a battle
4.
eventually because I
I
need to know
know.
what a ghost wolf hammer
I'm still trying to figure out how to use the hammer. I'm gonna use it. I
But
just don't know what I'm doing
This is
yet.
fine. This is a wizard roll, though. To
3,
obstruct.
3, and a 4.
Okay, well, so that means that it is a tie. So it is 1 stress, and you do succeed in obstructing the vision, and so it does kind of march past where Mark Fable and the gnome are still lost in each other's eyes as they dance. But it does not stop moving, and it starts to just sort of wheel out of control as it can't see, and it is wreaking havoc. It is smashing everything around it, and that includes a lot of the not animated yet statues, but also it is posing a threat to the safety of anyone here, which is mostly you 3 right now.
I've occluded its sight, but it's wandering. Technically, this is better. How about your turn?
I have a plan. And I pull out my Fey cannon
Mm-hmm.
and I hold it up to my face and I whisper into the barrel, come on, girls. Get in through the smallest spaces you can find and stop that vehicle. And I hold it out and I shoot it.
Fantastic.
And like 4 little Fey, like little sprites, they come flying out in a spray of rainbow glitter and head off towards the vehicle.
Very nice. That sounds like a battle move, and let's just keep calling this a 4 for now.
rolled a 1.
Oh, oh, just one?
Just for 1.
Okay.
Oh no.
I think all 4 of these little pixies are excited to be a part of this battle, and they fly out of your cannon and strike the metal side of this thing and just. And they just sort of peel over backwards. But as they do, little articulated arms extend from the underneath of this thing and seize them as they're falling, and it goes. And now you see the pixies have been steampunkized. They have little gears on them, and they're moving like little tiny robots.
Oh no.
That was unexpected. Do you have any stress?
Not yet. Oh,
Well,
wait,
you
I have
you
1.
you have one just now.
Okay.
So I have 2 now?
Well, yeah, and you
Okay.
rolled a 1, which means that your total is more than And so Lady Erilyn McCanth poofs into
Well, that was unexpected.
a burst of magic and appears back up in Petunia in the castle in a little while, is what the description says.
Hmm.
Do keep track of that. Good call, Mark.
Yeah, all the mechanics are kind of weird, so I wanted to see
sure.
what they all do.
Yeah.
That was unexpected. Poor little pixies, you monster. Mark's still dancing.
Well, I mean, I think you're still he's still dancing so long as he wants to be. He's got this gnome smitten. They're lost in the dance. They never knew it could be this way.
Then I shall have to try something desperate. And I shall rush forward at this machine man converting thing, and I will wield the tiny hammer as a special trait. As I howl with the magical energy and jab it straight through the window plate, as it is a ghost wolf hammer and passes through things. It's
Uh-huh.
not got great reach, though, but we'll try this.
All right.
I will
well,
spend my point of determination because,
Sure.
yeah, that's just okay. All right.
So this is looking for a 4.
Looking for a 4. Got a 2 and a 4.
Okay. All right. So that means it's a success, but you're going to take another point of stress. But you don't explode. You only explode if if you fail and you have more than what you rolled. So you crack So it goes through things like were you trying to break it, or are you trying to like hit what was inside? Like what
Hit what was at the controls, right? Because
Okay.
it's a small little cockpit, right? So I'm figuring like just long enough to kind of poke through.
Sure. So I think what happens is you find, to your surprise, that you thought that the windows were tinted because you couldn't see through them. But what you discover instead is that it was actually not tinted at all, but rather filled with some kind of a storm cloud. It's like water vapor that is just dark in color, like a thundercloud that has filled the entire chamber. And as your hammer strikes through and hits the controls, they short out, and you watch as the machine sort of shudders to a halt, and all of a sudden, through this tiny hole in the cockpit glass that you've made, this storm cloud seems to funnel out of it. And it seems to be collecting itself, but is trying to fly away.
It's a sexy dark cloud trying to fly away? I think not. I am the master of dark clouds flying away sexily. And I will form a vortex to keep it in place.
All right.
Start spinning and dancing with my beard, drawing this vortex stronger and stronger, but it's
All right.
more of a magical
This would
thing.
be a
than-
wizard. I'm going to say this is a difficulty 5 because you're literally trying to catch a cloud.
Yep. A 6, a 5, and a 5.
All right. So describe what happens.
So it is the rhythm of the dancing feet still kind of hangs everywhere. It's that constant chuk tuk tuk chuk tuk tuk chuk tuk tuk, and to those rhythms he starts dancing around with his feet, this beard flowing like this crazy long scarf. And the wind starts to blow and gather. His own essence of aura of smoke starts to expand out and wrap around, almost like a caressing arm, holding the other column of smoke and bringing it closer into the dance. The dreaded ghost cloud smoke lambada. Because why not?
Sure. So I think as you have trapped this cloud into the dance with you, you recognize that this is an elemental spirit. And it is an air elemental that has been enraged somehow, thus its storm cloud appearance. But as you have captured it in the dance, it becomes, I think, a sort of a furious tango. You know the classic tango where it's like they're fighting, but they're dancing, but they love each other, but they hate each other. That sort of thing. And I think that's what's happening.
Roxanne!
Yeah, but but you've got it trapped for now. In that, but in the meantime, I think this gnome in your arms, Mark Fable, as you're dancing, finally just breaks down crying and just says, "I've been such a fool. I've been such a fool. I didn't know that pleasures of this kind could be had in life. I've been deceived."
Tell me your story, good gnome.
I was told that I could achieve financial gain, which I thought was the only sort of material goal that I could have in this world, but I was paid to cause a disruption here at the burial chambers. I was used by someone who did not care for me at all. But now I see that there is another way to be.
The way of the dance is so beautiful. Who corrupted you so and turned you on this dark path?
It was. Oh, but I can't. I'm gonna need a roll for them to.
Oh, all right. We're gonna sexy this one up again. Keep the dance going.
Yep.
The dance must continue, my friend.
I kind of imagine this conversation as like the two of you, and it's an interior camera view just showing your face up close, and it keeps switching back between. And as you spin and spin around, the back is just this blur of motion, and the dance never ends.
It's the eternal waltz.
Yeah.
Oh no! Oh god, these characters with the eternal waltz would be super
So
dangerous.
you got a 3? Is that what you?
Yes.
Okay. So that's a failure. Definitely go
And
ahead.
I have 2 stress already.
Okay, so that means that the lowest thing that you roll, or let's see, wait, the highest die you rolled. So you're going to take a new one. So, but that makes you have 3,
Now,
right?
had 2.
You had 2,
Now-
so you have 3, but the highest die
Yes.
you rolled was a 3, so you don't explode yet, but
Oh,
you're
okay.
close, right?
All right.
You did fail, and I think what happens is that this gnome, in his distress, flees from you, too distraught by his guilt for being used and deceived in this way, and unfortunately, he flees right into one of these animated terracotta soldiers, which steps on him.
Oh,
And he crumples to the ground because he was a very frail little old man gnome. And so like he seems to have been knocked unconscious. You don't know how hurt he might be. He seems very old. And in the meantime, the already animated terracotta soldiers are still sort of trying to do their ritual. So something still needs to happen to stop that.
Oh wait. Oh yeah. Okay.
I'll be back with you again in a moment, Lady Erilyn. So,
All right.
Alistair, you've got this. So, you've still got the storm cloud. Something needs to happen with these soldiers.
I think
Is the gnome okay? These are all ongoing concerns.
there's only so many problems we can solve at once. For now, it is the lead that I must solve.
But
and
why solve one problem when you could solve three?
Generally, we create 3 more as we solve one, but that's not the point. That's only the tabloids. I think that Alistair, in this wild embrace, this delightful, thrilling dance with death, is going to try to take the lead and try to guide where this swirling dance goes to try to take out some of the terracotta soldiers.
Very nice. I love that.
So
I
I'm
love
going to
that.
use sexy for good.
All right. So I
It's
think
all in the
think
hips.
I'm going to call this a 5 because you're trying for a big result here.
All right. This could go pop. Let's see here. 3 to 1. We are going to go
Okay.
pop.
Oh, so do you pop as well?
Yep, that's my 4th stress.
Okay. All right. So you do your best, but finally the passion and electricity in this elemental's fire, as much as you try to guide it towards the terracotta warriors, you find that it overwhelms you and you are overcome and poof into your elemental essence, which is going to get reconstituted in a bit.
Whoop, too sexy.
All right, so Mark Fable, your companions have poofed themselves. Got a lot going on.
The gnome has been squished, and I
Well,
am enraged.
Yeah, he's like, I'm not saying he's squished like a bug. I mean, he's been
Yes.
trampled. He looks perhaps injured and unconscious, but
Well, I am going to use my remaining determination and roll to fight these terracotta warriors
okay.
in the hopes of disrupting the time warp again.
Okay. Well, since it's just you now and lots of them, I'm going to call this a 6. Clutch against the
Alright.
odds stuff.
I pull out my
Remember, you can,
secret
if you have more than one.
ultraviolet
Oh, yeah.
whip and my infrared whip.
Whoa. You know, they had to put out a whole extra toy action figure to have those.
It's a
Yep.
rave suddenly.
Yeah. It's, yeah.
And I go in for close combat, mustache, and ultraviolet and infrared.
Remember, for determination, you can spend more than one to add more than one extra die if that makes any difference.
I only have one.
Oh, well,
All right. A 4, a 2, and a 1.
okay. Unfortunately, as many as you try to take down with your whips, and you get a lot of them, eventually they overwhelm you. But so I think we're going to cut back to what is the room within your castle, Petunia, that you all reconstitute yourselves in. You've got a special enchantment to bring you back if you should fall in the field, but I'm kind of imagining just like a little lounge where you're all
Just like a pillow room.
yeah.
There's just pillows all over the floor.
Lavender bubble bath.
Yes. The smell. It's just
Yes.
lavender and
Yeah.
peony.
So I think that as each of you sort of gradually come to your senses in this room, you realize that all 3 of you have gone down to threat. But there is one of your minions, Jeremy, is standing with a silver platter and a little folded piece of paper on it, and he looks like he's been standing there a while, and his arm's getting tired, but he's trying really hard to not be obvious about it.
What is that?
Message for you, mistress.
From? Where did it come from?
I gave it. Michael gave it to me. He got it from. I didn't get that part of it. Perhaps it's in the message.
Oh, useless. And I will take the I'll take
He's
it
like
off the
holding,
tray.
using his other arm to hold up the one arm. And then I think he's like, very good, milady. And he immediately ducks out of the room, and the door closes. And as soon as the door closes, you hear that platter go clang, 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 clang.
Down the stairs.
Yeah.
Down the spiraling staircase for like a half an hour.
And so you open this folded piece of paper, and it is very fancy, embossed, engraved, sort of like an RSVP kind of card that you get with like a really fancy wedding invitation. And it says on it, sexy battle wizards. I like your style. Maybe we can work together on this next bit of fun. And it's signed the Monarch of Summer, which you know to be one of the many, many names of Empress Solomonia.
Interesting.
That is very interesting.
Why I
I've
haven't
certainly had worse invites.
Oh, yes. But
think.
Solomonia is very sexy.
Yes, and very important. Important is sexy.
So I think all of you are certainly aware that, like, you didn't stop the Terracotta Warriors. That might well still be happening.
Well, it's not our problem anymore.
All right. So I think that the bottom of the card just says, just let me know, ...
I say yes.
I mean, the life of a sexy battle wizard is so busy all the
So
time.
describe this room again. So it's a pillow room, but I also heard lavender bubble bath. You can each have your own little third of the room, maybe that's to your own.
Yeah, there's like a three-way divider, and in each one there's like they all meet in the center, but at each one there's like a bathtub filled with lavender bubble bath. It's like the Cylons in Battlestar Galactica. Like every time they would resurrect, they would be in like their goopy bathtub, but ours is really beautiful and fancy and sexy. Yeah, I think that's what it is. And then beyond that, like they're curtained so that we can all have our privacy, but beyond that, it's like the pillow room. There's just nothing but lounging and pillows and grapes and yeah.
Yes.
The great long complicated rack on which I can place my beard and have it squeegeed out.
Yes.
Many flying combs.
Yeah. So I think though that as soon as you say yes, Lady Erilyn, I don't know why I suddenly was like lisping there. Yes, suddenly there's a fourth segment in the room, and in like a really fancy like golden beach chair, you see an amazing figure, almost too bright to like even look at. You can kind of only sort of glimpse her, but there's like a 9 foot tall elegant, beautiful woman that you almost literally, it hurts your eyes to look at her. But she is just like in like a sundress with a big floppy hat, sort of lounging in this golden beach chair, and just says, "So, ordinarily, I would be irritated when someone interferes with something I'm doing, but I just love the way you three work. And so I thought it might be fun to give you a little tip off of my next plot, because that last time was fun."
Well, we completely and utterly appreciate you giving us a tip off to your next plot, and of course revealing yourself
Hmm.
I'm pretty
as
sure it'll be
the
quite
power
sexy.
behind the gnome, as it were.
Oh, indeed, indeed. So you were so close to figuring out that little thing, and I feel like watching you try again. So here's the deal. That whole terracotta warrior thing, just a diversion. In actuality, there are a few arcane tomes in one of the occult libraries in the university. And right now, those tomes are being stolen by a bunch of elementals. Now, for me, I would like to have those tomes. And those elementals are going to try very hard to bring them to me. But if all of you are able to stop them, consider that like an audition. So, for me, it's win-win. Either I get the tomes, or I have a new trio of adventurers to work for me. What do you say?
I must confer with my colleagues. Challenge
Really?
accepted?
Must you?
Challenge accepted. What say you? All right.
I accept. I don't even confer. I just accept.
I think Alistair has summoned some shadows and kind of started putting a little filter, kind of square boxish sort of filter over his eyes to try to attempt to see the luminosity of Solomonia directly, and maybe a puff of cloud to slightly obscure the shape. So only the ring of glowing essence around her might be seen. I must say, it is an intriguing opportunity either way. So I too, along with my colleagues, we accept, I think.
Oh, most wholeheartedly we accept.
Splendid. Well, don't keep me waiting now. I'll be watching. And if you succeed, then perhaps a weekend at my summer home will be in the offing.
Excellent.
And then she just kind of like, almost as though a moon is passing in front of her. The sky the room gets dark, and then it's back to just the normal three section shape that it usually is.
I
Best
feel
path
I've been
ever.
eclipsed by her sexiness.
Oh, we'll
So
find
sexy.
our place. We'll be there,
Indeed.
looking
I
at
snap my
folk.
clothes. I snap my fingers, and I'm dressed.
Aha! Roll do a wizard roll.
Okay. I think
Difficulty
it's
4.
I think Alistair steps out proudly, but the beard kind
5
of conveniently
and 2.
obscures any R
Nice.
rating.
Can have some bubble bath strategically placed as well. What did you get?
A 5.
Okay,
And a
very
2.
So
Yeah.
you look fantastic. What's your new outfit?
This outfit is a pantsuit,
Ooh,
like a very sexy pantsuit.
nice.
It's like I can't even describe it. It's like rose gold. It's just beautiful.
Is
Sexy.
it rose gold or is it blue
It's rose gold.
or blue gray?
It could I say it's rose gold, but I mean we could just put this out there for the rest of Sean to decide.
All
We'll
right,
take
so
pictures.
sexy battle wizards. There's a gauntlet been thrown down for you.
Mm-hmm.
To the library we must.
I stand up and open my closet and pull out a 20-foot long row of my costumes, all the same, all
I thought you were gonna say whips, that it was just like a closet full of
Doesn't actually wear clothes, just wears whips.
whips.
and he he selects the proper one and
I by the way, I haven't mentioned it till now because I thought maybe it was uh, too obvious to bear mentioning. But there's been like cocktails throughout this whole scene.
Oh yes.
Yeah.
splendid. Yes. Hot, hot.
Yeah, and I imagine that, like, our minions bring stuff in
Hmm.
and they linger because they're so fascinated by our sexiness, and we
For
just
sure.
have to shoo them out all the time. Like,
Hmm.
come on, go, get.
Right. And the thing is, they know that you do actually kind of want them to linger and be shooed, right? Like they know that they're not really breaking the rules. You want them to do that. It's part of the whole package.
It's
Yes.
reaffirming.
Yeah. But it's a
I mean, we
win-win
know.
because they also want to linger because they are fascinated. Anyway, I think we pull out to a long shot of the castle as it begins to move away from the place where this once enormous Gothic cathedral-looking building has now changed to an ancient field with a little Stonehenge on it. And but you're moving away. You're heading towards the university.
Be like, good
You
luck,
did not
Chief
stop the Terracotta
Inspector.
Warriors from doing their time warp.
I would cast sending, like, as we're departing, and be
Mhm.
like, goodbye, good luck. You've
And
got this.
the sexy chief of wizard police is down there looking at this field and then seeing the castle move away. Sexy battle wizards. Oh,
Good to see you too.
that is a
So
good looking
sexy.
castle though. Hmm.
I imagine the castle, like, it doesn't just fly, it flies gracefully and spirals, and it looks
for a
attracts
second, I
everyone's
thought you were gonna
attention.
say like it had a little butt or something.
No,
Okay,
no, no.
I don't need to. Yeah.
That would be hideous.
I was yeah, I wasn't sure where you were going exactly, but it
No
wasn't where
butt,
I
but
thought.
maybe
I
a
was
flirty
thinking
skirt.
I was thinking of like TARDIS, like
For
spirals
sure,
and
yeah.
stuff.
Mm.
No, I love it. Okay.
Well,
That's never
with
came
the
to
three
mind.
towers, I can see it where we could never agree who should fly front, so it always turns, and there's one
Yes.
tower, or all three towers going to have the turn moving forward.
Yeah.
Mm.
Hmm.
All right. Well, so you are headed towards the university, and it does not take much time to determine where this problem might be because one of the towers in particular seems as though there are four sides of this tower, and on one particular level, one window has what looks like a waterfall pouring out of it. Another, the opposite one, seems to have a like a flamethrower, just flames pouring out of the window, and then a torrent of wind is pouring out of another, and then a stream of falling sand coming out of the fourth.
Those poor, delightful, beautiful librarians.
Yes, in fact, you see one who her librarian robes. See, this is a nice little halfling librarian who had very severe glasses, hair tied in a bun, very proper dress, but she's been blasted out of the window by this torrent of air, and so now she is hanging on the ledge, and you can see her hair has come out of the bun, and it's now flowing long and beautiful, and the glasses have fallen off, and her dress has been torn in a couple of very specific ways, and she is now, help, help me, help me.
I'll
He
be
is
back.
quite sexy.
And Alistair leaps off the side of the tower, wraps himself in shadow and smoke, and flies down, hair blowing in the wind, beard rolled up with one of those center spires for scrolls, because the librarians dig scrolls. One glass in one eye, because it's also a librarian thing, and flies down gracefully, trying to rescue the poor, delightful, intellectually stimulating maiden.
So is this a wizard roll or is this a sexy
This is-
roll?
Oof.
I will accept either.
I think it's it's a wizard being sexy. I will take
mean,
it
you know.
as a wizard roll.
Sure.
Just because yeah.
Safety first.
Oof. Yeah. And it goes very, very badly with a 1, 2, and a 1.
Oh dear.
Yeah. Whoops.
Yeah, so I think that you swoop in, and her jaw drops at your majesty, your majestic style, and she is sufficiently distracted for a moment that another gust of air catches her, and she tumbles off into the, cartoon distance.
It's always a shame.
There's a little
Oh,
Wile E.
bother.
Coyote cloud on the distant street below.
I won't forget you, whoever you were.
Go ahead and take a point of stress and determination.
Yes.
Recall, all of you reset your determination and stress when you went back to the castle. But yeah, so in any case, that didn't go well. But now, obviously, you've found the place where there is elemental chaos happening here. Apparently,
Does anyone have any good ideas?
Constantly, it's a bother. But right now, nothing for this.
I say we start at the top and work our way down.
We could do more damage that way.
Well, we could start in the middle and work our ways out.
But then we'd have to choose up or down, left or right.
That's true. All right. Start from the top.
all right.
All right.
So, there's the top of this tower seems to have like it's a very tall spire on it. Classic pointy roof on the top of this Arcane University Occult Library Tower. And the elemental chaos seems to be happening perhaps 4 or 5 floors below the actual pinnacle of this. But, there's not a window on this level. It's just the sort of round, peaked, pointy roof. So you are at the top. Now what? Just
Oops. Hold on. I'll be right back.
Okay.
Okay.
Or the tower keeps rotating around. Erlen, as master of doorways, can you offer any entrances?
I mean, I'm sure I've been here before. It is, a reliquary of knowledge.
I mean,
So-
usually people don't come in through the very top of the tower. But that is what you decided collectively to do.
Who does the usual things?
But if you've been there before and you know what's inside, then sure.
Yeah, that's what I mean.
Okay.
That we could just sort of, triple dimension door in.
Yeah.
Like a 2-dimensional 3-way
Sure.
door.
Make a wizard roll for me.
I'm for a
Difficulty
three-way.
4.
A 4 and a 2.
Okay. So take one stress, um, and it works, but you discover that the let's see what happens. Um, okay. What you discover is that you enter at what should have been the floor level of the top floor of this tower, only to discover that you appear standing on the surface of what seems to be an ocean of water. And you see the walls of the tower around you, but you, as soon as you exit this door you've created, you plunge into water that seems to be endlessly deep, even though you still see the walls of the inside of the tower around you. And the three of you are plunged into this water now, and you see that it is filling this floor, and soon there will be no air here on this level at all.
I am going to use the Dance of a Thousand Whips with my celestial red and green whips to create a vortex to pull my companions close to me and create an air bubble and
Okay.
give us all a place to
That,
stand and breathe while we fight this water elemental.
sure. I mean, so that sounds like a wizard roll to me.
Yes.
4.
Well, I'm using my whips.
Well, but
My
what you're
celestial
doing
whips.
is a wizard sort of thing. You use battle not just when you're using your whips,
Oh.
but when you're fighting something. It sounds to
Fighting.
me like you're creating an air bubble, which would be a wizard.
All right.
You're weaving the eldritch
I got
arts
a
of-
4.
All right. So, take a stress, but you have created this air bubble, and so you are all now able to breathe. But I think what you discover is that this water elemental that has trapped you now seems to have completely filled this level of this tower, and is like they have enchanted it somehow so that you can't go down from here, because it seems like it's just endlessly deeper and deeper into the ocean. But you can all breathe, at least for the moment. There's no risk of drowning now.
All right, ladies and germs.
I would like to summon a towel,
Okay.
a very big towel, to absorb all of this water.
All right, that sounds like a wizard roll for me.
That is a 5
Okay, yeah,
and a
nice.
4.
Okay, so I think a 5 is enough that you are absorbing magically this water elemental. I think this is not going to completely defeat the elemental, but it absorbs enough that it disrupts this strange illusion effect, and now you find yourself wet but collapsed down onto the carpet of the regular floor of this level of the tower, and the water elemental is now there in sort of more tangible form, blocking the stairs, but now no longer able to control the entire floor of the tower the way they were. And I would imagine all of you, your hair is like, slicked back from being wet, and, clothes are hugging profile and so on.
Prestidigitate.
Sure, do that for free. All right, so this water elemental has taken the shape of a translucent feminine figure with flowing long waterfall hair, and she just says, "My mistress says that I'm not to let you through unless you can prove yourselves to me."
I think we stepped into an entirely different game. I think that
Yeah, it's called Sexy Battle Wizards.
yeah, no, it's you made it weird, Christiana. No, as if it wasn't already weird. I think that Alistair will dramatically pull the roll out of his beard and kind of whip his head back to let the beard splay out in full glory. And what sort of a test do you have in mind, madam? We are accomplished in many, many things, pleasures, pains, and so much more. I'm going to try to get her on my side a little bit.
Sure. Yeah, let's see a sexy roll.
Sexy action going on here.
Yeah.
A 5 and a 3.
Nice. I think she swoons. She's just like, and as she does, she just like literally melts into a puddle on the floor.
I've had that effect on many a woman and man and some other creatures I couldn't really identify. Shall we, folks? Shall we?
Indeed. Indeed. You're not having the luck with the ladies today. You're losing them all.
Well,
It's a curse. I know.
think that as you are passing by on the stairs, the puddle as you pass, Alistair just goes, "My name is Jenny. Call me later."
My number is 867-5309.
309. I will, my sweet, I will.
So I think as you descend the stairs to the next level down of this tower, you find that everything in this level of the tower, all of the furniture, all looks as though it has been sculpted out of sand, or perhaps just covered with a very fine layer of sand that has conformed to all the little contours of all of the furniture. You see several like desks and bookshelves and like reading lamps and that sort of thing, but it all seems to be made of sand, and you don't see stairs to descend further anywhere.
How delightful. They've installed a beach. I'm going to summon a beach ball.
All right. You can do that for free.
Come, let us celebrate the joys of this wondrous expanse.
Bali.
All right. you want to make is this a sexy roll to try to get them to join in or something, or what are you looking for here?
Yeah, sure. There are 3 of us. We need a 4th to play doubles.
Oh, okay, sure. So let's go ahead and make another sexy roll.
So this one holds its form. It's a 2 and a 5.
Nice. So
That's what you had last time.
So I think a figure emerges from one of the walls of sand, and as they do, you see that there is now an open doorway leading to stairs beyond that they were, disguising by being part of the wall. But as they come down, this is a sculpted masculine figure, as though is cut from a single piece of marble. And he joins in a game of volleyball, and we all hear playing with the boys. And there's
montage.
Yeah, and there's a fantastic volleyball game sequence where everybody has lots of fun and they look good and really get sweaty.
But it looks good.
Yeah.
It's not like gross sweat.
Oh no, it's definitely the like healthy exertion, like sweat.
Drops.
Yeah.
All
Moist.
right.
Lots of slow motion.
Watch Top Gun and tell me that everyone is not very wet all the time in that movie. It's pretty hard to miss once it's been pointed out. It's a lot.
Yep.
Anyway, people are very sweaty in that movie. But yes, I think that this, after a while, you know what? I would like someone to I think you want to try to win this volleyball game.
Yeah.
So that sounds like it would probably be battle if you're going to use just standard athletic martial skills. Who wants to try to
Oh.
win the point that proves the game?
I will give it a shot.
Okay.
All right, is this a battle roll?
This is a battle roll.
All right. So,
All right, here we go. I got a 6 and a 4.
nice. So I think that you describe this incredible victory.
So the ball is heading toward our side, and what's Jenny? What's your character's name?
Lady
Erilyn.
Erilyn.
Lady Erilyn sets me up, and I leap up, and it looks like I miss, and then I snap my head and send the ball back over the net, and it lands right between the legs of the earth elemental.
Mm-hmm. And he just looks down and he's just gaping and he just says, "Wow. All right, you may pass."
As I like skitter past him and be like, call me.
He gives it.
You're
No,
an
I think it's
all
probably
right
more
sort,
like a finger
Chad.
Chad.
Okay, so you descend another level in this tower, and I think in this level you emerge into a whirling twister as powerful winds vortex everything in the room, and not only is it spinning, but all of the furniture in here is carried along in it, and so there's a risk of being struck by flying debris. You're standing in the stairway and you can see this, but even to enter this room seems like it would be perilous.
Call out. Is that you, my dance companion?
There is a flash of lightning and a roll of thunder that you take to mean maybe.
We were interrupted, and so close before. Shall I take this dance?
All right, so this was interrupted rudely by your exploding last time. So I think this one's a
Sometimes
little
it
more
happens
difficult.
early. It happens to everyone.
Yes, well, but it's still, they can't help but take it a little personally. So I think this is a difficulty 5 to try to win them back.
Do you know what? It's worth it. I will spend my determination,
Okay.
my sexy roll. Oh, 3, 4, and a 2.
Oh dear. Okay, so I think that gosh, I think you're hit in the face with a book flung by the wind, and I'm just trying to think of a funny book for it to be.
Truth and Consequences.
Sure. That's a good one. So it seems as though now there's lightning and thunder in this vortex, that they will not be mollified by sweet words or sexy dancing this time, or at least not from Alistair. They've been burned once before.
Well, then I must step in
Mm-hmm.
and dance again. My
Well-
sexy dance.
As you're doing that, I just want to make sure, so Lady Erilyn, are you you haven't been making a lot of moves, so I wonder if
I
you're-
was gonna say something, but then Paul started.
Okay,
Oh, no.
yeah.
So
Well,
I just
let's
let it
let Lady Erilyn give it
Okay.
a go.
I was
I
just
appreciate
gonna-
the initiative.
I was just gonna do the same thing. As you'd be like,
Oh.
maybe perhaps you need another partner.
Well, I think we're
The
still
wind
gonna have.
blows a different way.
I think we're still gonna have a difficulty 5 for sexy approaches.
Okay. I am going to use my determination and roll 4 instead of 3.
Okay.
And that is a 2, a 6, a 4, and a 1.
Ah, but that 6 means that you get to say what happens next.
I
Is
think
this
that
angry storm?
the storm elemental just cannot resist my sexiness, and it comes over and it whirls around me, and we spin and pirouette. And I as I do it, I look to Alistair and say, "This is how it's done, my friend." Golf clap.
And I think that as this storm whirls around, it kind of stops being so abstract in this vortex. And although they never quite take on any kind of a solid form, you can sort of feel the shape of them, through the bursts of wind in the air, and you dance and twirl them until they just sort of soar off with a sigh.
Most excellent. I have learned something today.
It's all in the hips.
Well done, my lady. Well done.
And now, every time you hear the wind blow, you'll hear it blowing. Call me.
That's what the title of this episode should be. Just call me maybe.
Yeah.
Yeah.
All right. Well.
The phone call of the wind.
There is now one more floor before the book floor. And so I suppose you're going down and you're waiting for me to tell you what's down there. I think as soon as you start you enter the stairwell, the heat buffeting you from below just immediately, sweat breaks out on your forehead. And at first, you had kind of managed to, like all of the wind had blown away and cooled the sexy volleyball sweat. But now this is heat that threatens to make you gross sweaty.
Tell me, compatriots, is it getting hot in here? Or is it just us?
It's just us.
We might have to take off all our clothes.
Turn up the heat a little.
Definitely seems like it's really hot, and it's hotter with every step you descend.
Oh dear.
Every step I take, my poor heart aches. Take off the outer jacket.
I'm gonna
I wish-
snap my fingers and change into a bathing suit.
Nice. All right. So, are all of you sort of, you don't have to be getting like naked, but just, stripping off the outer layers. Is that the idea here?
Yep.
Yeah.
All right.
I am au naturel,
Okay.
the beard of protection.
Protection.
Very nice. And then I think that, let's see. I think that you start hearing music, and it sounds like dance music. And you're hearing that thumping bass as you're going down the stairs.
Boots and pants and boots and pants and boots and pants.
Yeah, and it gets louder as you go, and then you open the door, and impossibly large for the size of the tower you're in, you see what looks like a a flame themed nightclub. There's, open flames providing all the light. There's, bright red bar and carpet and dance floor. And there is an extremely hot uh, woman, seemingly made of lava, who is dancing by herself in the center of this dance floor. Um, and as she sees you, she's dancing and just kind of gives you one of these "come hither" fingers. But it's extremely hot down here, and she looks like she's like literally made of lava.
I'm just gonna give Mark Fable a nudge.
Oh, baby. I've been burned by you before. But let's see how we dance together now. And I'm going to give her my best sexy dance.
All right.
You know, I think the librarians should consider this a permanent change. It's hot.
All right. So I think I'm going to say this is this. I'm going to let you know just in advance that this is, I think, going to be a 6, because it is like it's literally everything's on fire here. She wants to dance close, and like just to avoid being physically burned by the contact is a serious part of the challenge here. So I think this is a 6 for your sexy roll.
All right. I got 2 2s and a 5.
Okay, so I think as she begins to dance with you, you find that she is eager and excited to dance, but as she touches you, you're really trying to maintain the composure, but it's just she's literally just burning your skin every time she touches you, and at a certain point, you just can't look cool while that's happening.
All right.
And so take a stress and a determination, and she looks disappointed as you move away. She just gives you the pouty lip, but she's still dancing.
I am going to use magic to cast a skin of ice over Alistair.
All right. Yeah. So let's
Yeah.
see a wizard roll here. I think that's just a 4 to provide this assistance.
5, 3, and a 2.
All right. Yeah. So what does this skin of ice look like?
Like everything except the beard. Like, he will just basically turn blue, and
Okay.
he will be just sheeted in ice so that he can withstand the heat.
Nice.
So very cool.
So cool.
All right. So I think that what is the plan now that you've got this, ice assistance, Alistair?
Well, it's a whole different dance from here. I think it's time to go very close and dance. A battle dance.
Oh.
So moving in for a waltz covered in ice and trying to kind of smother the lava and cool her down a little bit.
Okay. Well,
Cool
so
your
are
jets,
you
lady.
are you trying to like? So this is not you're trying to charm her with a fun dance. You're thinking like this will like she won't like this, and you're trying to like calm her down, and so she'll not she'll let you through. Is that the idea? Are you fighting her, or are you seducing her? I mean, either is acceptable here. She is trying to stop you.
I think it's seducing. It's bringing
Also,
close.
you're looking over at Mark Fable, who's applying ointment to various parts of his skin. So it is a seduce?
I think it's a seduce.
Okay, sure, sure. Then that would be a sexy roll, and I think the advantage of your skin of ice is going to bring it down to a 5 instead of 6.
Okay. All right. The seduction rolls don't always go that well.
Uh-huh.
That's a 1 and a 6. That is a thrill
Okay,
ride. is
well, the
what that
6
is.
means you are successful. Tell us what happens.
I think it is a very hot tango back and forth, bringing her body real close. The ice is melting; it's getting thinner. I can feel the little spots start to psh as the lava turns the ice instantly to gas in some spots. It's coming apart, but it's coming apart in a remarkably sexy pattern, kind of freeing the hips for more movement, freeing the shoulders for a little bit more flex, fleeing, a little bit around a crown starts to form around the head as the melting of the forehead causes a beautiful pattern to emerge, highlighting those streaks of gray on his head. And the very end, he dips her and goes in for a kiss, and it's just this smoldering. Nothing is seen in the resulting
Steamy.
steam that rolls up, and of course he is the master of of smoke, which kind of rolls in with it and causes this great sort of pattern, almost like a pulsating heart that
Nice.
blows away, revealing her cold and hopefully swooning a bit.
Yeah, so I think yes, she has become like uh not obsidian but like smoldering rather than like flared up and burning, and she's just laying back with you and saying that was amazing.
Kind of exhale, and all the ice is gone from the front of the mouth now.
Mhm.
It was extraordinary.
So I guess you want like the books.
Books? Right. Books.
Yeah, well, I mean, you could just stay here with me, but I suppose if you want the books, they're in they're in the locker behind the stage. You just go behind the curtain. It's not locked. It's just in locker number 3. And there's a little note there. It's got my phone number on it. If you're ever doing something later.
I will consider it to be one of the highlights of that day. But first, I must ask you one small boon.
Yeah?
Whisper it. Your name.
Cinderella.
That's so perfect.
Yes. So in any case,
I am Alistair. Some call me the Method Man.
all right, Method Man. I'll definitely call you that soon. So I think you are able then to you just go behind backstage in this little dance club, and there is a set of lockers there, and sure enough, in locker number 3 there is just a stack of like ridiculous eldritch tomes that are like vibrating, and they have chains on them, and like they're glowing with arcane eldritch light. They seem
I think
horrible.
as Alistair is walking along, he sort of does the disco right hand, and half of his clothes fly in from where they were hovering before. Then the disco pose on the other hand, and the other half of the clothes come in and sew themselves up.
I'm thinking like the Iron Man suit.
Yeah, kind of.
Nice. And so I think as soon as you have the books, all of a sudden it is you're just in like you're in the library as it usually is. Now this is not a normally accessed part of the library. It's more like a storage room, but it does seem to be the tower's default like normal appearance.
I'm a little disappointed. They could use some glam in here.
Yes. The
Shall we?
lavender soap bubble bath. We must send them a few gallons.
But for now, while we have a mission and it is at hand, there is always time to glam. Shall we prepare this place for proper reception?
Yes.
So, what are you doing? You're just going to use magic to like make this place cool and hip, or what?
Hallucinatory terrain it up. So
Oh yeah, absolutely.
Nice.
Like,
it looks like a
yeah,
hopping club.
I imagine the scene as we kind of walk in, everything is kind of gray and normal. The object of our quest is right there.
Mm-hmm.
The idea of glamming it up is there, and then there's just that spinning camera moment as the three of us are standing back to back,
Mm-hmm.
raising hands in appropriate magical circles, and just it is the illusion drawn across the room as we come and do what we do best, make it sexy.
And I think that looks incredible. And then all of a sudden, we see the walls of this tower room fall away, and the floor that you've been standing on is now just a circular stage in the middle of a grand fey ballroom, and there's an enormous audience of all sorts of incredible creatures just clapping and cheering, and then the party starts, and the sexy battle wizards have won the day again.
Golf claps, everyone. Golf
Yay.
claps.
All right, sexy battle wizards.
Oh dear.
Sexy battle wizards.
Well, that was fun. I hope you all enjoyed
That
that.
was fun.
Hopefully, all as much fun as that is, hopefully we have everybody next week. Yes? Question
Yeah.
mark. I hope so. And we once we have everybody, we will continue the Pocket Protectors adventure in progress. But in the meantime, thank you everybody for listening and or watching, and we'll be back next week for more adventure on so many levels.
So many
So many
sexy
levels.
battles,
Sexy levels.
wizards.